G'day there you beautiful people, Connor here again, and we're back with some more stories from Reddit. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and also the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Alrighty, let's get right into it. Okie dokie folks, we're on Am I the A-Hole? This one was written by user ClassicAmphibian963, and it's titled, Am I the A-Hole for asking for my dead sister's ring back after my brother used it to propose? My sister died when I was like 6 and she was 17. We weren't super close or anything, but I still remember little bits of her. Her laugh, how she always painted her nails, her posters. She was like this perfect angel to my mum after she passed. I barely remember the funeral. When I was like 12, I found this old ring in her stuff. Nothing fancy, just a silver ring with a small stone. It fit me, and I don't know why, but I kept it. It wasn't some big dramatic thing. I didn't steal it or anything. I just took it and started keeping it. I didn't wear it loads or flaunt it. I just had it in this little box, and sometimes I'd look at it when I missed her. It kinda became this one thing that felt like mine, like my piece of her. So anyway, last weekend we had this family lunch, and my brother, 27, brings his girlfriend who everyone knew he was going to propose to. And yeah, he stands up, does the big speech, and pulls out the ring. My sister's ring, the one I've kept for like 7 years. I literally froze. His girlfriend starts crying, people are clapping. I'm just sat there like, WTF? I look at my mum and she just smiles at me like nothing happened. After dinner I asked her, was that the ring? And she's like, yeah, your brother asked me and Dad and we said it was fine. She said it was sweet and symbolic, and my sister would have wanted it passed down or whatever. And I was like, question marks? It was never yours to give though. Like, I've had it for years. And she just goes, oh, come on, it's just a ring. Don't be dramatic. But like when I had it, it wasn't just a ring. So yeah, I kind of snapped. I waited till people were outside and told my brother I wanted it back. He laughed at first, then was like, no, what the F? And I said, okay, well then I'll tell your girlfriend where it came from and let her decide. He got mad and said I was ruining his proposal and making it about me like always. My mum dragged me into the kitchen saying everyone noticed I wasn't happy and that I left halfway through dinner. Yeah, because I was crying in the bathroom like, what? Dad tried to calm it down, but my brother kept going on about how selfish I was and that I'd been weird about my sister for years. I didn't even say anything, I just left early and I haven't spoken to any of them since. Mum rang me yesterday saying have I calmed down and am I ready to say sorry, and I said not really and she hung up. My cousin texted me later saying it was actually super messed up and she doesn't blame me, but I don't know. I probably could have handled it better, but I just felt so blindsided. It's not even about the stupid ring, it's just like they acted like it didn't matter to me, like I didn't matter. So yeah, am I the a-hole? No, it's pretty weird. I mean, it sounds like Opie's had the ring for a long time. Bit disrespectful to let the brother have it without asking her first, right? Let's go to the comments. Not the a-hole. How did he even get the ring? It's not a family heirloom because that's his sister. He probably just found an easier way to propose to his girlfriend without paying anything. Honestly, the whole situation is weird. Of all the rings in the world, why this one? She replies, well, I often leave it in a small unlocked box. It's an inexpensive ring, but it's extremely pretty, and if someone would propose to me with that ring without knowing the context, I would be quite happy. Not the a-hole. I'm sorry for both of your losses. The only way you're going to get it back is to tell the fiancé, but it will probably mean ruining your relationship with your brother and causing more stress in your relationship with your mother. Opie says, I feel like such an a-hole for telling her though, like I've just ruined her day. She's already posted the ring and everything. Info, how did he get the ring from you? I don't always wear it, I usually keep it in a little box. I wear it on when I'm having bad days or stressful times like during exams. It really helps me feel better, kinda like I'm doing this for her as well as me. I don't keep the box locked or guarded or anything. I wouldn't expect anyone to take it, it's just sat underneath my bed. This whole post makes very little sense. How did the brother even know about the ring if Opie has been wearing it for years? How did he get it? Why would he propose with a random, presumably kind of cheap ring? She says, it's not super cheap ring. I'm not sure on the exact price, I just know it's not super expensive. Why he chose to propose with it, I do not know. Maybe he thought it was sentimental. A downvoted comment says, everyone sucks here. It wasn't your ring, any more than it was your brother's. The ring belonged to your parents, and they had the right to do with it what they wanted. They let you play with it for a while, and then they gifted it to your brother. Pretty normal with things in the household. Where they become the jerks is that they did it without even talking to you about it. She replies, it doesn't belong to my parents, at least I don't think it ever did, and she's gone now, and I don't exactly think she'd be upset at the idea I kept it. How old is OP? 19. Did OP have the ring appraised? I don't know, I've never had it professionally appraised or anything. Its price or even looks wasn't why I kept it, even though it is a pretty ring. I had it because it reminded me of her, and it really does help having it on a bad day. Okay, now for an update the next day. While the final judgment of my last post seemed to be not the a-hole, I'm still so confused with the overwhelming amount of comments that said I was in the wrong. But one thing that a lot of people did say is that I need to tell my brother's fiancée, and I guess that's right, as it did feel like I ruined her day with my strop. So afterwards I messaged, apologised, and asked her to meet up for lunch as an apology for the other day. I wasn't going to ask for the ring back, I just wanted for her to at least know my side of the story, I guess. Anyway, we meet up for lunch, blah blah blah, small talk or whatever, and she shows me the ring and tells me that it's oh so pretty. I know it's not expensive, but if it means so much to your brother for me to have it, it means so much to me. Like, what? Okay, just miss out crucial info when telling your future wife then, I guess. I kinda just stared at the ring and didn't know what to say, and I guess she must have noticed because she began apologising a lot, saying, I didn't know, I'm sorry, and I finally got my ring back, or whoever's ring you want to call it. I was near tears. She took me back to my friend's house as I thought that was going to be it. Later, I get a call from my brother where he says that I'm selfish and I'm so weird about my sister and that I couldn't let him have his day and it had to be about me, telling me that I just ruined his marriage and that I can't claim anything with my sister because I was way too young to have a relationship. He ended the call and I tried calling both my parents but they wouldn't pick up, till my dad called later telling me he's disappointed how I handled things and that I've blown up my brother's relationship over a person I barely knew. And honestly, I don't know at this point. I feel it's all gone a bit too far. I don't think I can ever face coming home and I've just ruined my brother's marriage. Am I the a-hole? What do you mean you've ruined their marriage? Something like this shouldn't be ruining a marriage if it's worth having in the first place. More comments. If simply knowing the full truth was enough to make her leave, it means your brother was manipulating her anyways. You saved that woman, not the a-hole. What a bunch of frickin' a-holes. Of course a young child is going to look up to her older sister. I'm guessing that she was kinder to you than this bunch of ghouls. They knew what they were doing was wrong, because they didn't tell you they were doing it beforehand. Pretending you have no relationship to your dead sister because you were young is just unfathomably cruel. No surprise the fiancé bailed. She saw how they treated you and realized that this would be her future if she stayed with your brother, her actual feelings never mattering, only what he thought they should be. Best of futures to you. Sorry you lost your sister and have such a crappy family. I don't know, I think your brother ruined his marriage by stealing the ring and using it to propose and then lying about it to his girlfriend. If his girlfriend doesn't want to marry him for his own actions, then that's on him. I think that you have to express that you're upset about them not asking you to grab the ring. Also, your brother accusing you of blowing his marriage up? Dude, he didn't even say the truth to his fiancée, that's the problem. I'm pretty sure this wouldn't have been an issue if you, your parents and brother had a conversation before just giving the ring, explaining why he wanted to propose with the ring and what it meant to him, deciding whether to give the ring or not as a family. I think that the ring doesn't belong to anyone but to everyone in your family as a way to remember your sister. So if someone opposes giving it, simply don't give it. Okay, now for another update, 6 days later. My parents blame me for ruining my brother's marriage over my dead sister's ring. If you want the full context, it's here. But essentially, after I told my brother's ex-fiancée that the ring he used to propose was a keepsake I kept of my late sister, she gave it back and I presume broke up with him. As of now, I've been staying at my friend's house and will be moving in to stay with my boyfriend for a bit when he comes back from holiday. My parents have taken his side and they want nothing to do with me. My brother is the same. No one in my family, even if they are sympathetic, can get through to them and demand stuff. It seems the only way to repair the relationship would be to give the ring back, but even then I don't think I can. I'm at a loss and I don't know what to do and how to go about it. It feels like I'll never be able to come home. One comment says, here's the thing, your golden child brother is not going to pan out as a functioning adult in life, and he won't be able to take care of your parents as they get older. So live your life, do the best you can, and just wait. Your parents will come crawling back one day. By the way, the fiancé broke up with your brother because he was so cheap he stole a ring from his baby sister that belonged to his deceased sister that the living sister used as comfort. The kind of man that can do that is not the kind of man any woman of merit will ever want to be with. You just found out that your brother is the golden child. If the ring is just a ring, then why did the brother need it in the first place? Why is it just a ring when you want it, but it's meaningful when he wants it? Clearly there's some cognitive dissonance going on from their side. You are navigating this correctly. You just saved some poor girl from being married to a man who steals from his little sister without empathy or remorse. Good job. Do not back down. If your brother was a sister and wanted it for an engagement ring, that might justify wanting the ring, but he wants to give it to someone outside your family who presumably had no special relationship with your sister. It's your reminder of your sister. It's not up to anyone else to decide how important it should be to you, and it wasn't anyone else's to give away. You're moving out. You'll have space. They'll have space. Once things have cooled off, feel free to reach out in a casual way. If the ring comes up, explain once why it's important to you and make it clear you're not giving it back. Then say something to the effect of, I want to move past this, but I don't feel you think I have a right to mourn my sister in my own way. If they don't care after that, it's a wasted effort. Yeah, I feel the need to amend what I said earlier about a marriage worth having. Clearly it's not, because the brother sounds like a prick. Okay, new update, 8 days later. I feel like before I say anything, I need to clarify things people were confused about in my last post. Yes, I understand my writing style was messy. I was very emotional when I wrote my post, and I did leave out some details. The ring isn't cheap. It's the color silver. It feels metallic and has a small stone or gem. I have no clue how expensive it is. My sister died when she was 17. My brother was 14. We don't ever talk about her. It rarely comes up other than the occasional time my mum reminisces. By I wasn't close to her, I mean that in a way we didn't have a typical sibling relationship, but we still spent time together. She would brush my hair, drive me to the park. What I told the fiancé is what I essentially explained in the post. I don't know why I didn't clarify it. I'm sorry that was really messy. As for what's the happenings, I'm now living with my boyfriend and his parents on a semi-temporary basis. I met up with my aunt for coffee and she told me it's best I don't go back. Even if I give the ring back, my parents think I've burnt all my bridges. They have this idea that due to my age, I can't claim to have had a relationship with my sister. Everyone else has tons of fond memories of her, and I only essentially have a glimmer. They think it's weird how I act about her. They claimed they've noticed it since her funeral, and they've only just now spoke up about it. My brother is extremely angry. He thinks all I try to do is try and replace my older sister, the way I dress, the subjects I chose, and that until I decide I'm not her and can never be her, he won't even look in my direction. My aunt says she tried to reason with them, but to no avail. The decision is out of my hands at this point. Nothing I can do but move on. Thank you for all of those that helped me. I appreciated everyone's perspective, but to the guy who DM'd me to try and buy my nudes, you're actually a wrong'un. Sheesh, yeah, welcome to the internet. Some final comments. Hey OP, I read your first post and now this update. I do just want to say one thing to you, gently and not to in any way call into question the sentimental meaning of your sister's ring to you, but have you ever spoken to your brother about his relationship with your sister? How he felt when she passed? His memories of her? He was 14 when your sister passed away. I think that it may be good if you sit down with your brother and really let him talk about why he wanted that ring for his fiancée, what your together sister meant to him. I'm not saying that taking the ring without talking to you is okay, or the way they've tried to deny your feelings about her is okay, but it's not clear to me that you've really recognized how your brother may feel, and perhaps there is room for understanding and healing here. Opie says no one talks about her. Everyone refuses to have any conversation about her. Can Opie reach out to her brother and hear him out? At this point he refuses to speak to me, but he was mostly the same, just refuses to speak about her. It was taboo. The only person who did was my mum, and that's basically briefly. Yikes, that's awful. Also, how can you simultaneously have no memory of your sister while also copying her? Your family is out of touch with reality. They are so unhealed and so wrong. I pray you find peace and healing. That all of you do. Your behavior around your sister's death and memory is normal. It's healthy to want a personal connection with her. She is, after all, your sister. Most people would feel similarly to you. Unfortunately, the toxicity and weird behavior by your brother and parents is not normal. They sound immature and full of resentment, like they own your sister's memory, and therefore how dare you intrude on that? To be honest, their behavior sounds abusive towards you, almost like they're channeling all their pain surrounding your sister's passing towards you. Do you understand what I'm saying? This current situation is a convenient excuse for them to vent this rage on you. It is not your fault this is happening, that your sister passed, and you're present trying to understand who she was. Your family don't deserve you. Don't beg for forgiveness, nor a relationship with individuals who are so committed to rejecting your presence so thoroughly. They are not safe for you, lovely. I think therapy would help. Focus on other extended family members and your chosen family, boyfriend, in-laws, friends. Good luck. Yeah, some good advice to take at the end there. But yeah, overall, pretty messy situation. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, we're going to leave that story there, and moving on to the next one. Okay, jumping over to relationships, this one was written by a throwaway account, and it's titled, My future mother-in-law wants to postpone mine and my fiance's wedding by up to 12 years because his father is going to prison. So my future father-in-law has just had 2 more Class X felonies to his record and is looking at 10 to 12 years in prison. My fiance and I have a 6-month-old daughter and have been planning a wedding that was supposed to be in September of this year. My future mother-in-law is trying to convince my fiance to force me into postponing the wedding, and even went as far as saying that we can't have any more children until her husband is out of prison so that he doesn't miss anything. I feel sick thinking about waiting 10 to 12 more years to marry someone that I've been with for 7 years already. I definitely don't want to postpone having more children just so that he doesn't miss it. Am I insane? I mean, my daughter could be 12 by the time she sees him again, and I'm not waiting 12 more years to grow our family. We already have a venue, my dress, invitations have been sent. I have family flying into town. I may be selfish here, but I just don't feel as though we should be punished just because his father decided that being a criminal was more important than watching his first granddaughter grow up and watching his only son get married. I just feel as though he should have been thinking about his family. My fiancé has a sister that will be turning 10, and she could be 22 by the time he's out. Should she not graduate or go to college or get her license so that her dad doesn't miss it while he's serving time for his 6th felony? I just don't know how I'm supposed to tell my future mother-in-law, absolutely not, I will not wait 12 years to do what we've been planning for years and to give my daughter a sibling someday. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's clear the mother-in-law has a few rocks loose as well. If you choose to be a criminal, living in prison is not your only punishment. It's missing out on stuff like this as well. His fault. Tough luck. Let's go to the comments. Nope, you and your child come before his father. Your fiancé should know that by now. She's acting like a small child throwing a tantrum. Life goes on. Maybe you can move it up so he can see it before he gets incarcerated, but that's your decision. I did move my wedding up so that my 90-year-old father-in-law could be there. He passed away less than 2 years later, and having him there was wonderful. This is your husband's conversation to have. OP replies, He's already been arrested. We're waiting for his sentence to be decided. We find out next week. The only way we would be seeing him is through a TV screen talking through a phone. What were the felonies? And his 6th felony? What the hell? So his career is basically being a criminal. Basically, he has no career. He has income though, which is drugs. Considering he only got a 12-year sentence for a Class X felony, I'm inclined to agree. Opie says, on the upper end of 100 to 200 grams of cocaine. A quick update. I spoke to my fiancé about this and he had no idea that his mother was planning on this. I basically stated it as, you're not really planning on agreeing to this, are you? And I got a hell no in return. He basically said he doesn't even plan on visiting his father and said he needs to deal with the consequences of being an idiot. He's going to plan on telling his mother to F off. The end. Oh, hallelujah. Opie updates and explains a bit more the next day. Fun facts. No, this is not made up. The fact that I would make this up is ridiculous, but anyway, not my point. This will actually be the 3rd extended prison sentence he's had since my fiancé was born, so my mother-in-law of all people should know that life doesn't stop when you're married to a criminal. My mother-in-law told my sister-in-law that she was planning on asking us to hold off, and my sister-in-law is the one who spilled the beans to me. The reason I was worried that it would be an issue is because my sister-in-law told me very nonchalantly, "Oh, Mum is going to ask you guys to postpone the wedding until Dad gets out. She really doesn't want you to have another baby because Dad would go crazy that he missed it." She said it so calmly and normally, as if to tell me that this was an average request. My fear was that my fiancé would agree because if his sister seemed so unfazed, maybe he would too. I wasn't sure how their lives were while his father was in prison the first 2 times. He doesn't like talking about it. So it made me feel like the insane one to think that her request was absolute bullcrap. Sorry for the missing info. I have a 6-month-old who gives me about T-minus 15 minutes to use my phone, so I didn't get a Chavez to reply to the 1,000 messages in my inbox. My fiancé has talked to his mother and basically stated that it's not happening. She's going to have to deal with it. There's no way we're waiting, and he plans to not visit his dad. That's really when she blew up. He didn't say much of what was said after that, just told me that it was taken care of, and that was that. Yeah, and that's all it should be. Good fiancé. Anyway guys, that's the end of that story, and that's it from me today. Hope you enjoyed those ones. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.